This is the presentation from Wednesday, February 18th's MadTech meeting, the Madison, Wisconsin Nonprofit Technology Group. And tonight we're discussing Google applications and how nonprofits can use them. Google Apps is a collection of web-based apps, but they also have desktop and mobile environments. I've put together a list of 30 apps that I believe are important to the nonprofit sector. Um, Web search being the most commonly used, but Gmail being probably the most important as a gateway to all the other services um, in the integration with Google Docs, Google Talks, Calendar, and Google Groups. And let's not forget to mention Google Labs as a way to make all these things work very well with each other. Um, so those are the most notable, but then there's some that are missing that people should know of. I think Transit is a great application for social workers, case managers, and outreach workers, though it's not available everywhere. Google Apps removes issues of compatibility, offers great collaborative features, reduces transmission of viruses, allows your IT team to refocus on your core missions, and also reduces cost and purchases. Um, Next slide is just like funny little images that I came across that I thought were appropriate. Yes, Google Apps are great, but there are things to be aware of, pitfalls, if you can call them. You want internet access, reliable internet access. You'll need to give up some control, and you want to do your backups. But security is on you, but let's face it, it's all doable and manageable. Um, we can take a quick look at editions. The standard edition is free. That's what most people use. Nonprofits also have access to the education edition, which is like the enterprise edition, but also free. Here are some case studies. They're videos, so we're just going to let them
Abilene
play.
Christian University is located in Abilene, Texas, which is about 180 miles west of Dallas-Fort Worth, and we are a liberal arts four-year undergraduate institution. Our entire campus, faculty, staff, and students, use Google Apps, and we've been using the entire suite of products. I guess we went live fully in October of 2007. We opened it up for people to start converting over in April. Email had become a bit of a commodity. There was an expectation on the part of our users that it was available 24/7, 365, no downtime at all. And when our shop, that was an unrealistic expectation. We couldn't meet that. Our email administrator left the university, and so we were wrestling with them. What in the world do we do? We're a fairly small shop, and so that was a big loss for us. And as we were wrestling with how do we digest that loss for our email administrator, the Google announcement was fresh in our minds, and we thought, boy, what does this do? Really, the decision was pretty easy. It was one that we looked at. The cost is certainly easy to get your arms around, and so once we made that decision to move, it really went pretty quickly from there. 80% of our students converted the very first day, which was we were blown away. We had no idea that we'd be that high of an adoption rate. We were thrilled by that. Immediately what they received were some of the benefits that Google Mail brings to the table. The ability to be threaded email discussions. And if you're not a Gmail user, I would encourage you to go out there. Once you get used to that, you'll never go back. The ability to embed chat and to collaborate with each other. A lot of professors are starting to use Google Documents, for example, on collaborative projects in their class. And so that as the students are working on a paper within their group, the professor can go in periodically and look at that paper before they ever even turn it in and make suggestions on, hey, you might want to think about this. Our registrar's office, for example, has created an academic calendar for the entire university that you can subscribe to that shows, application for graduation is this date and registration for juniors starts at this time on this date and all of those events. And it's a click away from anybody on campus being able to see that. Incoming freshmen starting in the fall are going to receive an iPhone or an iPod Touch. A huge part of us being able to make that happen was dependent upon Google Apps. while a number of schools and a number of certainly corporations around the country were stuck with the Microsoft Exchange integration component with the iPhone, that wasn't an issue for us at all. We immediately went past that. The Google Apps were native to the iPhone almost immediately, and so we jumped past all of that. That email administrator that I told you about that left, we were able to repurpose that position over to a developer's position. So we have now another developer on our staff as opposed to someone babysitting and maintaining an email system. We have someone that is developing applications that are used by our students and our faculty every day. They're working on iPhone things. They're working on ways to optimize some of the things that we're working in Google. They're working on things that add value to the educational experience for our students, and that's really the power in that, the ability to be able to focus our resources on helping our students be better educated and better learners. Wow, what a huge win. Every now and then in your career, you kind of get one of those no-brain decisions, and this was one of them for us. It's been a win all the way around. We've gotten better functionality, better security, and able to refocus resources on the things that really matter and not babysit an email system. At the end of the day, students aren't better educated because you have a good email system. And so we are thrilled to be able to leverage that power.
They do mental health counseling and drug and alcohol rehabilitation.
Our next case study is a nonprofit of Alcohol and Drug Recovery Center, the East Bay Community Recovery Project, with Dan Heath, their IT person, discussing the benefits of Google app use for their organization.
It's my job to make technology, to make email easy to use for people that are dealing with bigger problems, for people that are trained to talk to people with drug abuse problems. And of course, my challenge communicating with all of them, my background is technology, and so I'm speaking an entirely different language than they are. When I switched personally to Gmail shortly after it came out, this was before Google for Apps or Domains was even available, I remember thinking, I wish I could get this for everyone in this organization and take their product away from them and make them all use this, because this is just exactly how they should be interacting with mail, and it helps nudge them in that direction. So it was brilliant when we were actually able to finally do that. I think Google's genius is picking the correct set of defaults that actually work for the vast majority of things people want to do. The nice thing about spending less time working on email is that I can spend that time working on some of our in-house database systems and some of our data tracking and our clinical data systems to try and get them up to speed, because unlike email, where someone else has already solved this problem, we have a lot of weird clinical requirements we have to track. The old platform was something of a crawling nightmare to support. It was like having a huge, dangerous animal that is really important, and you need it to do whatever the huge dangerous animal does, but if you feed it carrots at the wrong time of day or what have you, it totally freaks out and trashes your office. So it was a wonderful relief to lose that. It simplified tons of our internal systems. Well, I certainly hope to encourage people to use the docs feature, especially when they're collaborating on grants. Anytime you've got a great big grant proposal, you've got 15 people working on it, you've got different versions going back and forth, and invariably there are huge disasters with that. People are editing the wrong version. I would love to get them all editing the same version. That's going to be a tough sell culturally, but definitely I would love to get people working more with the app so that they can share documents in real time, because that would certainly be helpful for them. But it's definitely a little funny to find myself sitting here saying nice things about a product made by a big company, because usually I'm pretty skittish about that sort of thing. I think Google Apps gives small organizations access to sort of enterprise class information sharing and information portability that otherwise there's no way they would have access to.